Hi, I'm Chuck Gibson. This is Loveland Beacon Talks. Today we welcome Ralph Dunnigan as our featured guest. Ralph is the former longtime general manager of Paxton's Grill and an ownership partner with Paxton's and Ramsey's. More importantly, he has been instrumental in developing the annual Paxton's golf outing benefiting CancerFree Kids. The 18th annual event took place the weekend of June 9th, 10th, and Monday, June 12th. Ralph is here to help tell the story of the 2023 charity golf outing for CancerFree Kids. Once again, it is my pleasure to welcome Ralph Dunnigan. So Ralph Dunnigan, welcome again. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Chuck.
On Loveland Beacon Talks.
I appreciate that.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you.
Love to be here. Yeah.
So anyway, today, the last time we talked, we were talking about the upcoming Paxton's charity golf outing benefiting CancerFree Kids. Today, we get to talk about, the success of the event, which took place, as we're sitting here talking today, it took place 2 weeks ago.
Right.
On that Friday event was the June the 9th, Saturday, June the 10th, and then again on, was it Monday?
Monday, June 12th.
For the final part, June 12th. So, let's start with, with the big thing. It's about raising funds.
Correct.
For CancerFree.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
cancer research for children.
Absolutely. And, and we're going to talk, and just a side note for the people that are listening now, we're going to talk to Jill Brink from CancerFree Kids in a follow-up to this interview later on, and she'll get to talk about the total impact and how they feel about what Paxton's has been doing. This was the 18th annual.
Right. Yes, it was.
18 years. And so this year, what you said, we were talking a little bit before we got on here. So what's the number this year in terms of how much money you were able to raise on that weekend?
Chuck, I think we're right around $85,000, which our goal was $100,000. Having reached 96 last year would have been nice, but wasn't to be this year, and that's all right. We'll get it next year. That's the kind of attitude we're going to have.
Well, $85,000. I think CancerFree Kids will be very happy.
Absolutely, I hope so.
We would have all been a little happier with $100K, but I got to tell you, Loveland Beacon just didn't give enough money this year. I'm going to beat you to that.
All right.
But I know. So the Friday flight. How many teams can you have on that Friday flight?
I believe course would allow us to have 30.
Okay.
28 to 30.
Yeah.
And we had 22, I think it was.
Okay. And then I know Saturday, I guess ultimately you could have had 36 teams.
Well,
if you put double on every hole.
Right. If you did, yeah. They kind of frowned on that. Only they didn't want to slow play down that much. And it wasn't that slow at all. I thought we had 30 teams. And I think it ran rather smooth. Hickory Woods does a great job organizing that. And, yeah.
And again, that's the other piece of this, reminding people that when that event took place, Friday flight, Hickory Woods, Saturday flight, Hickory Woods, but the Monday, that's, you guys call that the corporate outing. So that's company teams or whatever, and that takes place at the Oasis.
That's correct.
And so how did Monday look?
Well, we had 16 teams, and it was a fun day. Luckily, we missed that rain on Sunday.
Amen.
Yeah, we had beautiful weather Friday, Saturday, and not so bad weather Monday. I mean, it was golf we could play. But yeah, Sunday was a washout. It would have been terrible.
Yeah. Well, and that's hilarious. Thankful that it didn't wash you guys out because it was Monday.
Right.
But we're in the middle of a drought, and the one day it rained.
Yeah.
So you probably would have been like, oh my gosh.
Somebody's smiling on us.
Absolutely. So, and you know what? It slowed the greens down a little bit, I guess.
There you go.
It's nice for them.
Yeah.
We had fast greens on Saturday.
Yeah.
And and I like to share this. Since I've been covering this event. Mm-hmm. In all honesty, 17 of the 18 years, because I was not there that very first year.
Right.
But covering it or playing in it as I have the last few years. So the fun thing was, and I'm going to tell everybody. So my team, which we're not very good and we don't expect to compete for the top prize, but it was a great pleasure at the end of the day to see the Loveland Beacon team tied with the Ralph Dunnigan team.
Well, you're obviously not good because I'm not good. But we had a great time. I played with some very good friends. One high school friend of mine that came up from Houston, Texas to play in this event every year. And John Blum, who was our printer this year, did a great job with fast signs up in Montgomery Road. And my good friend for 20-some years, Matt Howard. Great guys, not so great golfers, you know.
Well, I'll tell you. So we had supposedly our ringer this year because I had somebody had to bail out at the last minute and had to fill a spot. So this John Miller, retired Hamilton County Sheriff's deputy, who's actually a friend of the guy that had to bail out on me. And he said, hey, I can get somebody to fill since I'm the one bailing. So he did. So John Miller, which in Hickory Woods is his home course.
Oh.
And he's a player. So the only reason we were even as good as we were, because we're so bad, the only reason we were as good as we were is because we had a guy that could, he got us there. But I do know, talking to the people during the event and being out there, number one, we had a great time. We always do. And I know that the other golfers, it's just a great event.
It is. And we want to thank all the golfers, all the volunteers, the whole staff, everybody, the committee that helped organize it. What a wonderful job everybody's done, and we're going to continue to do. So.
Yeah, you know what? And I didn't give you a chance last time we talked. That's a big deal. The committee members you
absolutely
have. Rattle those guys off. I mean, aside from Ralph Dunnigan helping organize this, Doug's still part of it.
Doug Ransom. Yep. We've got Steve Max. We've got Bill Ray with Bush Ray Shea Insurance. Jeff Hollingsworth with CPS Incorporated, and a number of other people here from CancerFree Kids. Kayla Bonser from U.S. Bank helps out. I'm missing somebody. I apologize.
Yeah, I'm not going to hold it against you because I put you on the spot.
Luke Walker has helped out. The young man has helped out this year.
Don't you mean Luke Skywalker?
No.
I'll bet you people call him that.
Probably.
But that's
I'm
a whole
sure.
different.
But no, they all did a great job. Ainsley from the CancerFree Kids office here is wonderful to work with. And,
Which, by the way, we're sitting here in the conference room at CancerFree Kids, thanks to Ainsley. So it's good that you mentioned Ainsley. She set this up for us to be able to do this.
And if I can mention also my friend Mike Henderson, who did the auctioneering before the Saturday event, which he did a great job.
Yeah.
I did not know there's a special school you have to go to learn to auctioneer to talk like that. But he's and we did raise a lot of money that way. I don't know the exact figure.
That was an interesting piece. Is that the first time we've done a live auction before? Because I was going to say I don't remember that happening.
Yeah.
That was an interesting piece.
Yeah.
Before
usually
we
we've done an
teed it
online
up.
auction or in right there at the event auction. But
I'm going to put you on the spot again. So who was the winning team? Do you remember?
No, because here's the reason why. We have a winning team Friday.
Right.
A winning team Saturday, and a separate winning team Monday. So, 3 different events, basically.
But I can get that information and share it.
Absolutely, yeah.
So when you're listening to this, you will have already read the part about who they are.
Right. And we'll have a plaque made up with all the teams, pictures on it, and the names of the winners. And
So now that was 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And the committee is meeting in 2 weeks from now to get started?
July. We're going to meet in July to get started for next year. So where can we improve? What can we do better? Things like that. And maybe invite some new people onto our committee. We'd love to have, some new blood, so to speak.
Yeah, I understand that.
Different viewpoints and things like that. Yeah. To me, that's very important.
Well, and then share, because you guys have been doing this for 18 years now and headed into the 19th. In just a couple of weeks, you guys are going to get started. The committee will be meeting, as you just mentioned. What, from your point of view, what happens? You raise the $85,000. You give a check to the folks here at CancerFree Kids, which is so awesome to have this organization right in our hometown of Loveland, based here. But then what happens? Where does that money go?
To my knowledge, it goes to CancerFree Kids, from CancerFree Kids to Children's Hospital. The oncology is at, I don't know the terms.
Pediatric. We always say the pediatric cancer research, right?
And it'll go to one of those fine doctors there, and they'll do their project, and hopefully get some great grants and get this thing off the ground. But I know CancerFree Kids over the years has done tremendous jobs in raising money for cancer research, and we just want to help a little bit. So,
well, here's another thing. We would be remiss not to mention it, and I'm going to have to look it up for the story that goes with this. The name of that young child who was one of the cancer survivors. And so the auctioneering was a neat thing before we teed it up. But when Jill Brink stepped out there and introduced that young lady,
Clara, I think her name was.
Yeah.
I met her parents. Talk about bringing a tear to your eye. Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's just one more piece of a very special weekend. Hey, we can talk all we want about how much fun it was, or where we fit 5 under par or 14 under par to win it, or whatever the case was. And the golf is great fun, but it is about and everybody you talk to on that golf course, this is about the kids. This is about the charity event. And so seeing that young lady come out, and then she sunk that putt to like launch us on our tee off. So how much fun,
awesome.
How much fun was that?
Yeah, it's like my good friend of mine, Mike, told me years ago. He said, "There's 2 words that don't belong together, Chuck. It's cancer and kids."
Amen.
You know, so we want to do what we can to eliminate that as much as possible, at least.
Okay. So having had this going on for 18 different events now, what? And I know you've been there for those dinners when they share those stories. I mean, what does it mean to you, just to you, Ralph Dunnigan, to be a part of that, and then to see what that research dollar does?
To me, it's heart. It does your heart good. You know, I mean, I'd love to see not just our event, but other events that are throughout the night that are presented at that time. And yes, it feels great. Get up there on stage with a couple of my friends and the doctors, and half their names I can't pronounce, but yeah, it's lovely. It's just great, and hope you can be there this year. We'll see.
I've been able to make it a couple times.
Yes.
I never know. Sometimes there's a conflict, but again, same thing. Having been there and seen it, it is. I mean, it just fills your heart,
right.
But it also gets those tears running down your cheek. It's touching. But again, Ralph, thank you so much for joining us on Loveland Beacon Talks and sharing the story of the Paxton's charity golf outing for CancerFree Kids.
Well, great, Chuck. We'll see you sometime down at Paxton's for lunch.
For sure.
Or dinner.
Or both.
Or both.
All right.
Thank you, Chuck.
Take care.
Appreciate it.